When it comes to raw strategy in CSGO, Astralis has to be one of the best teams to analyze in the game and outside the game. With that being said, they recently announced adding SE-Tag as a 6th player in the active lineup. Now, let's take a look at how this would work and if it's going to be a good choice for Astralis. Hey guys, my name is Suka and today we're going to be looking at the really interesting addition to Astralis' team roster, and if other teams should take notes and follow their leads to host an active 6th player to the team. Well, first of all, let's take a look at why exactly Astralis decided to make this choice. Considering they've been a top team in the world, what makes them think the change is necessary? If we take a look at their website, they state, for most pro Counter-Strike players, periods with tight schedules, high tournament stress, and a constant strive to improve leaves little time for physical and mental recovery. A 5-player roster leaves no room for giving players a pause when needed for physical or mental recovery. In order to improve working conditions for our players, it has been decided to increase the Astralis roster to 6 players. Also, just a small side note, SE-Tag will be joining the roster July 1st, which is why we haven't seen him yet. So overall, it just seems like Astralis have made this decision based on their players' mental and physical well-being. But personally, I, along with a lot of other people, seem to think that players' performance on Astralis during matches and tournaments will affect whether or not SE-Tag will play, and it's not just based on physical and mental health. So now, let's talk about the benefits and drawbacks of a 6-man roster in CSGO. Astralis have had the same lineup since February of 2018, so just over 2 years now, and have had a pretty consistent performance of staying at number 1 in the world until recently where they've dropped down to number 2. So team chemistry has definitely been an important part of their success considering how long they've just been together. Adding a 6-man to the roster is gonna require him to obviously learn all of the strategies and just overall be on the same page as Astralis, which is a really big risk to take considering how long the team has been together and considering how good their performance is. But I guess that's one of the reasons why they're practicing with him until officially signing him on July 1st. I've also heard talks about switching players between maps and series of tournaments according to performance based on this change. Now, although this would be really interesting and I personally would love to see it not only on Astralis but on a ton of other teams, I highly doubt tournament organizers are going to allow this to happen between maps. And at most, I feel like we would see it happening between tournaments, which I don't think would really have a beneficial effect to Astralis, as I don't feel like switching just one player between tournaments would have that big of an effect, because I feel like there's other things you have to change, like strategy over players in my opinion. The only thing that I could see being good about this is keeping players motivated to perform at their best so they don't get replaced during some tournaments. And I don't really see this as a 6-man roster overall, and more of SE-Tag being a backup player if someone on Astralis has something like health issues, family issues, or is just burnt out in general. So hopefully because of this, we do get to see a better performance from Astralis, as the players should be more motivated to perform, just in case they get their spot taken by SE-Tag during a tournament. But overall, I think it's good to see such an interesting approach to the meta of CSGO being looked at by Astralis, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw other top teams weigh their options for picking up a 6th player to keep their team motivated, or just have a stand-in if something goes wrong. But unless tournaments decide to have rules that state having a 6th player that is interchangeable between maps, which I don't see happening at all, I don't think 6 or more people on a team is going to be the new meta in CSGO, unfortunately. But besides that, definitely be sure to leave a comment telling me what you guys think of this situation, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like, join the Discord, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.